Prediabetes is a condition defined by elevated blood sugar, and the biggest factor that impacts our blood sugar is the food we eat, or that we don't eat. By adjusting our diet, we can have better control over our blood sugar. And it's this better control over our blood sugar day to day that results in our fasting levels coming down over time, and ultimately a reversal of prediabetes. Stable blood sugar is the key to putting prediabetes into remission. The more we can avoid these spikes in our blood sugar, the faster it will reverse. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 3 foods that a lot of us think are healthy, but that are actually a nightmare for our blood sugar and for prediabetes. They could actually be making it worse or hindering your chances of reversal. So let's get into it. Number 3 is flavored yogurt. Flavored yogurt is code for added sugar. It's actually crazy how much sugar is added to flavored yogurt versus plain yogurt. And here's why all that added sugar is a problem if you're pre-diabetic. When you have prediabetes, your body is not able to metabolize carbohydrates and sugars normally, which means that when you do eat them, your blood sugar rises higher than it should, and/or it stays elevated for longer than it should. And it doesn't matter whether these carbs and sugars come from processed food or from whole food. Either way, your body is still having difficulty metabolizing them. Now, the reason that whole food sources of carbs and sugar are slightly better than processed ones is because of the fiber they contain. This fiber slows down digestion. So if you eat 50 grams of carbs from a potato, for example, versus 50 grams of carbs from a piece of cake, because the fiber slows down digestion, the blood sugar spike is not going to be as large. But of course, you don't have this advantage when it comes to yogurt because there is no fiber. Now, what yogurt does have in its favor is that it's naturally high in fat. And like fiber, fat helps to slow down digestion and mitigate blood sugar spikes. However, not only do flavored yogurts have a bunch of added sugar, but oftentimes they also have a lot of the fat removed, which is why they are number 3 on my list of foods that people with prediabetes should avoid. The best alternative to flavored yogurts you can choose is a plain Greek yogurt. And I emphasize Greek in particular because it's naturally higher in protein. But any plain yogurt is going to be better than flavored. Number 2, dried fruit. When fruit is dried, the water is removed, but the sugar remains. So you end up with a more concentrated source of sugar. Dried mangoes, for example, have 15 times more sugar than fresh mangoes. So this means there's going to be a much bigger spike in your blood sugar when you eat the fruit dried versus when you eat it fresh. So whenever you can, choose fresh fruit over dried ones. And I'm also going to include dates here. I know they aren't technically a dried fruit, but they do contain a lot of sugar, which isn't great for our blood sugar. So as I just mentioned, it's better to choose fresh fruits over dried ones, but it's even better to choose something like berries, which are naturally lower in sugar than tropical fruit is. But again, everything is on a spectrum. Make the best choices you can, but you don't always have to be perfect. Now, before we get into the number 1 food that people with prediabetes should avoid, which I know is going to shock a lot of you, I'm quickly going to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Squarespace. If you're thinking about building a website for your business or even for personal use, such as for a blog, Squarespace has got you covered. Their award-winning customizable templates will give your website a polished and professional look, while also being highly customizable. You have complete control over colors, fonts, sizing, photos, and more. Their templates are beautiful and also professional. Not only did I build and run my website with Squarespace, I also manage my email list and design and send out our newsletters through Squarespace as well. You can also run an online store and accept payments too. And these are just some of the amazing features that Squarespace has to offer. You can head to squarespace.com/healthcoachkate to start your free trial. You don't have to enter your credit card details or anything to get started. And when you love it and you're ready to launch, make sure you use code HealthCoachKate to save 10% off your first order. Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. And number 1 is fruit smoothies. I know smoothies have been somewhat idolized as a healthy option. However, if you're pre-diabetic, you really want to be avoiding them, especially first thing in the morning. Now, you might be thinking if you've loaded your smoothie with a whole bunch of fruit, that the fiber is gonna help to mitigate that blood sugar spike. However, unfortunately, when we blend the fruit, the fiber is broken down, so we don't get the benefits of it stabilizing our blood sugar. Now, there are a few ways you can make smoothies better for your blood sugar and for prediabetes. Like we spoke about earlier, you can choose lower sugar fruit such as berries instead of tropical fruit. You can also add some healthy fat such as from coconut oil, MCT oil. Some people like to add avocado to their smoothies or maybe an unsweetened nut butter. And you can also add protein. So for example, a whey or a collagen powder. We didn't really touch on this today, but protein is so important if you're pre-diabetic. I do have some other videos on my channel, so if you want to know more about that, I'm gonna link one above. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have been recently diagnosed with prediabetes and if you were consuming any of these foods regularly. Are you gonna switch things up a bit after watching this video? Let me know down below. And thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. The link to check them out will be down below as well.